I'm your host, Steve Black, and I am joined on this episode by the boys basketball coach at South Laurel High School, Mr. Jeff Davis. Jeff, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, also joined by the girls basketball coach, Chris Selder. Coach Selder, welcome back.
Appreciate being here.
All right, and this week we have a very special guest with us. He is the athletic director of South Laurel High School, Mr. Ryan Nolan. Ryan, welcome to the show.
I'm looking forward to it, I think.
Oh, you think? Okay. We'll talk about it after the show. We were talking about some pre-production here, and I said I had a surprise later on, and so we'll see what happens with that. So, if you haven't joined us before, Cardinal Chat is kind of a new venture that we're doing at South Laurel High School, and we want to include everything in Cardinal Nation, which would include athletics, academics, and fine arts as well. So, and we're looking for sponsorship. In fact, we're going to talk about sponsorship later on here in this particular episode, but we do have two sponsors that are on board for this week's episode. Smith Global LLC, as well as Morgan Collins, East and Sawyer, Kentucky Courage attorneys at law out of Lexington, Kentucky. So again, thanks to our sponsors. We'll talk more about sponsorship later in this broadcast. But first, I want to go ahead and just talk a little bit with our guest this particular episode. So, Mr. Nolan, we'll just go ahead and get started. So, again, athletic director at South Laurel High School. Now, does that just include the high school, or do you go like over the middle school or any other parts of the South Laurel district?
Yeah,
I guess what's your breadth of in a sense of your job duties?
Yeah, other responsibilities at South Middle as well. So South Laurel High and Middle School.
Okay. Now, for those that are not familiar with the job of athletic director, why don't you just kind of give us a synopsis of what you actually do? I mean, I'm sure if I ask the coaches here, they may have a different opinion. I don't know, but why don't you tell us what you actually do?
My thought on my job is to do everything behind the scenes so that no one knows that there's anything other than just a ball game being played. Logistics, planning, helping those guys with scheduling, making sure they get things that they need. I feel that my job is to eliminate any obstacles there are to keep these guys from winning a championship.
And the thing about it is, I think to the lay person out there, they see a ball game and they see everything that kind of goes with it, with the teams involved, but there is a lot of preparation behind the scenes, and that's something that you and I know a lot of volunteers, take care of. You talk about concessions, you're talking about, I guess, just managing actually the whole, atmosphere when it comes to just a crowd and the tickets and things and all of that. So it is
He has to throw people out too.
What's that?
He occasionally throws people out.
So occasionally a bouncer as well.
That's all the CrossFit that he does.
Yeah, that's it. CrossFit hard charger, by the way.
CrossFit hard charger. Put a little plug into there, right?
5 a.m. every morning.
So is that saying y'all going to be a sponsor? Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
yeah, there you go. He's
Wow.
in.
Maybe Jake Floyd will listen. And
We got to that real quick, that's right.
no, these guys are.
Well, now, Brian, let me ask you this: before you assumed the job as athletic director, how did you get into that position? I guess what did you do before it? How long have you been with the position?
Yeah, so this is year, 9, I believe, at South. How many years have you been at South?
This is my 10th.
So this is my 8th then.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I was the district athletic director at Clark County. Prior to that, I had 0 experience. So I had to go out and make my own experience, work for free kind of deal. Interned with Kentucky Horse and Arena Football League for a couple of years. Worked with a group called Pro Player Solutions out of Lexington. So anything really that I could do to earn some type of experience to put on a resume. And then I guess I won an interview 10 years, 11 years ago, and here I am today.
Now, is it something like, I guess maybe in your schooling, is it something like sports management or something that you were going to do, and maybe this is the way you were going, or did you just kind of stumble into this?
Stumbled into it, yeah. Actually, my bachelor's degree is in special education. So I started off special education teacher for 7 years, and then I've got my master's in school administration, so principalship. But then after 7 years of special education, the position opened up at Clark County. I like sports, enjoy management, so I thought I would give it a try. So
And then you met a guy named Gary McPhee.
I met a guy named Gary McPhee.
Now, I have no clue what's going on. You may have to fill us in on that. Maybe some people out there in radio and TV land may know about that, but could you expound on that?
All I can say is Gary has been very nice to me.
Okay.
And he has helped me.
All right.
Good man.
We'll leave it at that.
Yes, sir.
All right, so very good. So now, let me ask you this. I talked to the coaches on our last episode. With everything that's going on this year, with 2020, with the pandemic and things like that, as an athletic director, how has it, obviously it's changed, and there's
Yes.
things that you have to do differently. So from your perspective, Brian, how has it been, and what have you had to do to kind of ensure that, athletics is going on here at South Laurel?
Okay, so it started back in probably early summer, late spring. Basically, we would formulate plans with Coach Davis, Coach Satter, whatever teams were wanting to participate at the time. So we would develop plans on, hey, here's how practice is going to look, get that approved by our health department, people at central office. And then once we got that and practices began, then KCA allowed us to start playing competition. So how's that going to look? Percentage, how's capacity? So we met as an administration team one evening and came up with our voucher system. And the voucher system is something brand new. We've never had to do it before, but we're contact tracing, symptom checks and temperature checks at ball games, mask wearing. So there has been numerous additional steps, a lot of red tape. I tell you, for myself and my chair as AD, I couldn't ask for a better staff that has implemented anything that I've asked of those, of our coaches and requested from them. They've been great, and because they know at the end of the day, I'm trying to take the information I get it approved, and then trickle it down to them for their individual sports. And then at the end of the day, we know that as long as we're doing the extra step and doing our job, it's creating an opportunity for our student athletes to get back on the field of play. So that's what it's all about anyways. Why do we do it? It's for the kids.
Sure.
That's why we got in here. So yeah, it's made many extended hours on my part. Every game we're sending out vouchers and ticket forms to other counties and canceling games and rescheduling games. But you know what? It's all for it and all worth it, I guess.
So how would you grade, I guess, everything that's happened so far in the fall? I know that some of your sports have just finished up here recently, and there's some that are still going on in the fall. But how would you grade everything that the school's been able to do so far?
I tell you, I actually feel like we've got an 8. I mean, it's very welcoming to hear when a coach or an administrator from a different school comes onto our campus, finds me, whether it be at a soccer game, a football game, volleyball game, and say, you guys are really doing it the right way. It's so organized compared to where we have been. Everyone is being so gracious with us and courteous to us. And so that's pat on the back for our administration. Principal Kidd does a fine job of making sure we're doing everything that we can to accommodate all those other schools. So when somebody else comes up to you and says, hey, you're all doing a good job, and we copy part of it, then that's a compliment to us.
Very good, very good. Now, I know next week, as we're taping this, next week, October 26th, is the beginning of practice season for the basketball programs. And so let's talk about winter sports here for a moment. What are some of the, there's anything a little bit different that's going to be happening for the winter sports as compared to what you've been doing so far when it comes to protocols involving COVID, or is it going to be kind of the status quo? What special is happening here for the winter sports?
Right now, we're just playing it by ear. Really, that's the best and probably the most true answer we can come up with. Yes, we're going to have sports in the winter. There will be certain restrictions and guidelines, probably that'll correlate to what was happening in the fall. The biggest number one question right now is capacity.
Yeah.
How many are we going to be allowed to come in and watch boys and girls basketball teams? That's a question I get weekly. We're still trying to figure that out. We want to make sure that, number one, we create a safe environment, not only for our players and coaches, but also for our spectators who are able to attend those games. So, and to elaborate on that, you know, the question is season tickets. Are we going to be able to have season ticket holders again? And this, right now, if you ask me today, as we're taking this, doesn't look like we will. That's just I guess a sacrifice that our community's going to have to make. And, you know, too, hats off to our community. They continue to come to these ball games. They continue to try to either find a way to attend an event or get a phone call or an email to these coaches, for instance, or our other coaches. Hey, how can we help this year? And a lot of our fans have been very understanding of the rules. They understand that it's about the kids, and as long as we abide by these rules, we can play the game. So I feel like it'll be no different. Our season ticket holders are some of the best people in the community. They truly support us, winning or losing. And I've talked to a few of them already. I think they're understanding that we'll just do what we can to make sure boys and girls are out there playing.
Very good. Thank you very much. And so one more question for you, and we'll kind of go on with the program, because I know Coach Davis and Coach Souter get paid by the word, and they kind of wait to kind of chime in there for a minute. But I joke, I kid because I care. But what's been in your time as an administrator? What's been the most rewarding thing that you've seen, you know, up to this day? It may be to come, but you know, you've done this for a long time now. But what has been the most rewarding that you've experienced in doing your job for your school?
Okay, so I will get emotional. That's kind of who I am.
And it's fine. It's TV.
Probably to answer that was, I just received it probably 6-8 weeks ago when I received a card from a former player, Cindy Hall. He just wrote in the card and said, "Thanks for always having my back."
Excellent.
That's why we did it.
There you go. Perfect. Well, Ryan, thank you very much.
Absolutely, it's fun.
You're gonna hang around, right?
Yeah, I want to see what he's got to say.
Yeah, you better stay. You better stay.
Talk about it a little bit. So, now, Coach Souter, I'm going to go to you right now, because again, in our last episode, you mentioned about golf scramble that happened. And again, as this taping is occurring, it happened this past weekend. Would you like to talk a little bit of how things went?
Sure, it went, you know, it was a short notice type deal, and we kind of threw it together. Todd Cox and Jimmy Mills kind of threw it together, and we ended up with 15 teams. And you know, the golf pro told us that for that time of year, in the short notice, 15 teams was great. Don't ask me who won. I'm not real sure. Coach Davis did not. He did not. He told me, he was texting me saying he won, but he did not win.
In his mind.
Yeah. But it was great. The kids had a good time. The London Country Club was awesome working with us, and we're already working on one for the spring.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, good. I'm glad it worked out. So I'm going to jump over here to Coach Davis. Now, we talked about this in our last episode as well. I wanted to maybe follow up with you on this, but you were talking about the media guide that you guys are working on. So anything new with that before we go on to other things?
No, the response has been unbelievable, especially in these times. We've sold the front cover, inside cover, back cover, inside back cover, which is the most expensive package. And we're just thrilled, you know, appreciative for that. And we still have people calling. You can still get the gold packages that are calling it was the full page, and then banners that are special events on the digital scoreboard that's on the floor, just like everything else. The big question is that on the scoreboard, everybody's kind of wondering, well, if there's not going to be fans, it's going to be worth it. Well, little teaser, I guess. Even though it's probably not going to be a lot of fans in the stands, there will still be, we're working on getting some streaming for our games, either live or tape delay, as they used to do in the back. So you can still see the ads on our digital boards, and they're top of the line boards. I mean, they're outstanding, digital, crystal, and you can see them through the cameras and everything. So that's still available, and both boys and girls teams are doing a great job going out and trying to get all the help we can get for that.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt. That kind of goes back to what Ryan said too about the community. You know, it could be a time right now where businesses could say, look, we're strapped. we can't help, but these people in this community have just jumped out at us and say, hey, we're willing to help. So he's spot on with the community here in terms of supporting our programs.
Well, it's really good that you guys mentioned that, good response within the community. Let's talk about sponsorship here for a moment. So again, not trying to be corporate shill or anything like that, but we're looking to include other people in what we're doing here in this new venture. And really special thanks to Smith Global, LLC, as well as Morgan Collins, Yeast, and Sawyer, the attorneys out of Lexington, for jumping on already. And so let's talk about that for a moment. And in a sense of sponsorship, and Coach Davis, I'll go to you first.
Scott Smith and his family, they support everyone. They support the north side, the south side, everybody that gets involved in all that kind of stuff. He does a great job of doing the car washes, and what people don't really know about them is they have multiple businesses. They've got restaurants, they've got properties and everything, and right now if you go to Pigeon Forge and you want to support a local person, Scott Smith's the guy. He's got Puckett's Diner down there, and he's got
Actually, I got a whole list right here.
Why don't you read those off, because there's so many I can't read.
I think we could do that for Mr. Smith, because of kind of researching this today, I noticed you mentioned car washes here in London. There's one on North 105 CVB Drive on the north side of town, and as well as 155 Kingsway on the south side of town. So if you need your car washed, go ahead and check that out. But you mentioned Puckett's. I mean, I'm just going to throw some other businesses out there that they're involved with. Pink G out of Pigeon Forge, Puckett's, as you mentioned, Crave Golf, Steak and Shake, and not only Pigeon Forge these, but the Steak and Shake in Bristol, Tennessee, as well as London and Somerset, Panda Express out of Sevierville, Tennessee, Taco Bell here in town, both exits, as well as Shiloh Landing. And you talked about some properties as well, the Kirkland subdivision, Bush and Mitchell Creek properties. So again, Scott Smith has a lot going on, and seems to be very successful here around the area.
And he's been supportive, like I said, of both sides for anything to help kids. Doesn't matter where they go to school, doesn't matter what their school name or color or whatever. He's just been outstanding for everyone, and support those guys. I mean, especially in times like this, and I know a lot of people go down to Tennessee, stop by and support those guys.
Now, if you watch your Law and Order, when the opening arguments, both sides have to, get their say in on the court. Speaking of court, our other sponsor, Morgan Collins, Yeast, and Sawyer, they are part of the Kentucky Courage Attorneys at Law, based out of Lexington, but they also have offices in London and Somerset. Coach Souter, would you like to talk a little bit about with that law firm?
Yeah, hopefully I won't need their services, but but you never know. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Like my segue. Right? Okay, I'm just,
Yes.
I'm trying to get this done. I'm interviewing for the show.
I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing. No, Coach Davis and Ryan have been here for a long time, and this is my third season here, but I've only lived in London, for a year. My wife and I just bought a house, so we don't know as many people here, the businesses and things like that. So, first of all, thanking him for letting us kind of join with him on the media guide, because usually they've gotten more ads than the girls have. So the fact that he's letting us partner with them is good. And Roy Collins, the Collins part of that, his daughter plays for us. And ever since, he's been whatever we need. He's just been that way. So as soon as the media guide came out that we were doing this, I mean, we get an email saying, hey, we want this sponsorship, which was pretty significant. I didn't have to say a word to them. That's just how supportive they are. And you got to have those kind of people to have the kind of programs that we want to have. And we're both, it costs a little bit more to be first class, so why would we not want to try to be first class?
Sure. Excellent. And again, that's Smith Global, LLC, and Morgan Collins, Yeast, and Sawyer, Kentucky Courage Attorneys at Law. Again, proud sponsors of Cardinal Chat. So now, folks,
he said first class. That doesn't mean you have to dress first class, right? I don't have to wear a suit and tie.
No, those days, no, first class is still, okay. That's up to BSN and Ryan Prophet and those guys.
That's if they get the logo right.
That's exactly right, yes.
Okay. Anything can happen on this show. Okay, all right.
We give Ryan a hard time.
Yes.
Ryan does a great job for us, but
he may not want to come back on. in the future.
Not this
me.
one.
Oh, not the- oh, different.
Not this Ryan, no.
Yeah.
No, I
Too
think
many Ryans
I
around
think
here.
his CrossFit thing though. I think he just admitted they're going to sponsor. Did he not? Yeah, they're next week. Yeah.
Excellent. So now I'm going to ask this of the group here, though. But for anybody out there, any businesses or anyone that's interested in being a part of this, and again, this is a growing venture, looking to really do big and great things here with this particular venture. But who can they contact if they want to be a part of this? I'll let
You can call
jump in.
the school, or you can email Coach or I. Our emails are on the website. Just get in touch with us and we'll work it out however we got to do.
Okay.
To make sure that you get what you need as well. So.
All right, so anyone interested, just contact the school or contact any of these gentlemen right here, and they will do you up right. So again, we'll welcome anyone and everyone. Again, thanks to our sponsors so far here on this particular show, as we call Cardinal Chat. Oh, another segue. Speaking of that, you talked about good response, Coach Davis. So there's been some response as well about the name of the program. And I thought that we could talk about that for a few minutes here on our second edition of Cardinal Chat.
Let me guess.
I'll let you jump in on that.
Let me guess, Les Dixon, right?
Well, I mean, there's people out there that have given constructive feedback. How's that? Les is one. Les is one. Now, Coach Tim Curry, the athletic director at Union College, I know you guys know Coach. I don't know if I can say this online. Well, it's pre-taped, so Shane can bleep us out or whatever, but he suggested bird droppings. I don't know if, no.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. You can cut that out.
That may depend on who the guest is that week.
Is Les next week?
Wow, shots fired. All right. So Les Dixon, you'll have a chance as a rebuttal. I think we'll try to get Les on here one time and maybe let him have his piece, right? But I thought this would be maybe a good idea. See what you guys think about this. But there have been some suggestions in the sense of what we want to call this and stuff. And I thought a Cardinal Chat kind of right on the spur of the moment. But actually another one that was thrown out there, and the Cardinal's Nest. That is something from Mr. Dixon as well. But I thought maybe we could do something on our social media platforms and see if anybody would have any suggestions, actually some legitimate suggestions of what they want to call this show.
Creativity, huh?
What's that?
A little creativity.
Trying to look for some creativity and see maybe the most creative, and we can change that, maybe recognize that first contribution.
Maybe,
WPG.
there you go.
Well,
Maybe whoever wins it can come on and be a guest and kind of announce it.
how's that? That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. So we'll kind of work on that. We'll get something going. And so
And the winner might get something.
Yeah, we might.
Gear or something.
There you go.
Gear.
Get some swag, right? Some Cardinal
Swag. Is that what it is? Or you could, I tell you, I know Coach loves doing this. They might be able to sit on the bench with him
Well,
during the game.
Depending on who wins.
I think this is a developing program that we can work on here. So.
If I can pick the game, and they have to wear a mask.
Mikey Clem.
Bless his heart.
Okay, we may not make it on the next show.
No, he's got some good ones.
Oh, okay. So, Mikey Clem, if you're watching that.
He's watching.
Send it oh, right. We have derailed. Okay, so, but in all seriousness, we'll get something going on that and try to invite everybody out to contribute. We'll see what kind of creativity that we have out there. So, since we're kind of in a jovial mood, I thought we'd kind of end things on this particular episode with maybe a little round table and involve everybody here. And I just threw in a few questions here. It may not be necessarily, coach related or whatever like that. But you guys ready for this? You didn't really know. You knew there was maybe a round table, but didn't really know the questions.
This is scary.
It's scary?
We're ready up.
Okay. We'll see what happens here. Shane can always, cut it out in post-production, right?
We got time.
We got time, all right. So, okay, this goes out to everybody. I'm going to put on the old reading glasses here. So, let's see. I'll just pick and choose as we go. We'll start with Coach Souter and just kind of go around here.
Gee, thanks.
There you go. So, Coach, if you weren't doing your current job as coach of the girls basketball team, what would you be doing?
This particular current job right here?
This particular current job. What would you be doing if you weren't doing this current job?
My dream when I was coaching, but my father owned Aggie Cell Sports Shop for 20 plus years, which was based in Harrodsburg. That's what I wanted to do, was be in the sporting good business. So Ryan Profit better watch out. I'm after their job, but
Okay.
I would love to be involved in sports, something like that.
Okay. Now, speaking of Ryan, we'll go to Ryan Nolan here. So, if you weren't doing your current job as AD, what would you be doing?
Scout, MLB.
Wow, okay. So what do you think of everything going on with the season, with MLB and the way they're doing things, especially in the postseason?
Season ending when Trevor Bauer was out. Once Trevor Bauer's team got beat out, we watched it.
You just stopped
It was
watching
just
now.
Trevor Bauer guy, man.
But can they re-sign him?
No.
No.
I think they just throw the boatload at him because him off the field is worth the money.
It is.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Now, Coach Davis, if you weren't doing your current job, what would you be doing?
Oh. Well, I've got into a new adventure, so probably dog breeding.
Dog breeding.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of that, a little birdie, I don't know if it's a birdie or right, maybe a little
Cardinal.
farm animal, maybe? Oh, a little cardinal, right? You do some breeding yourself there, Ryan, right?
Oh, yeah. We
Hey, what do you do?
Sheep.
Sheep.
Have Shetland sheep, Wicker Ranch. Check us out on Instagram.
Okay.
We'll have lambs for sale in
He's
June.
known nationally now.
So CrossFit, maybe some sheep breeding, and some other possible
Yeah.
small
You have to diversify your life.
There you go.
Yeah, you just can't focus on
No.
that. Like coach is all sports.
Coaches, yeah.
You got to be broad.
Well, because y'all took the sheep and the dogs, well, I don't have anything left.
There's really nothing left, right?
That's right.
Okay, all right. Let's get the whole class. All right. Let's say, this could be anybody that you know, but what would people say is the best quality about you, Coach Davis, in general?
Wow.
See?
The best quality.
Making you think. Questions get tougher as we go along.
Sure ain't my smarts.
Not smart.
Loyal.
Okay, so loyal. Ryan, best quality.
That how it's going to work. We all get the same question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You've seen that, right?
Yeah, so it may possibly be organization.
Okay. Coach Sally.
Even though my team would probably disagree, probably patience.
Patience.
Hey, I'll give you that.
I will give
him
that.
Okay.
Yes.
That man is patient.
Yes.
I mean, he's giving me counseling on patience. Going into this season, he's giving me counseling.
Maybe this will lead to the next question. We go to Ryan first.
Okay.
So the people that you work with, or maybe in any way, shape, or form, what's the most annoying thing that you do?
Have to send the fourth or fifth reminder email to them to do something. Yeah.
A lot of follow-up, right?
Yeah,
I didn't
follow
get
it.
I didn't get the email.
You didn't get the
They
email?
get the first. They do it the first time. All right.
Now, this is going to be more, I think, a loaded question for the coaches, but what does your team think is the most annoying about you, Coach Dave?
Get on the line.
Get on the line.
Get on the line. All right.
Well, some would say my stomping during games.
What would Les Dixon say? Ooh.
It would be a Steve. I know what Les. He would always come back to a Steve Wright comment. Well, Steve didn't do that, or something like that.
I got a story here for you folks, as we were kind of, the last week, kind of going back and forth on a couple of things after the first episode. And I was a go-between between Les Dixon and Jeff Davis on texting. And so it was like I was a mediator.
Yeah.
Les would jab something that Coach Davis would reply, and I would just pass it along. I don't know what I was
You are the host.
Yeah, I am the host, so.
We have our own little round
back and forth. Coach Salva, what would your team say is the most annoying thing? I guess they think you're not patient, but we proved that wrong earlier. But what about?
They're really good. I don't know if they view this as annoying. It's that the one thing they'll make sure when I'm not mad, they're going to make fun of me. Like they're making fun of the way I stand. I'll stand a certain way. So there's stuff that it's just they'll nitpick you. So literally, they nitpick you. So they'll find one little thing. They make sure I'm not mad though. They got to make sure that I'm in whatever kind of mood. And so it's probably that. They probably think I'm moody. They always are trying to see, you know, they're really not concerned whether I had a good day or not. It's just they say, did you have a good day today? And it's really, they're trying to base it on what's going to happen at practice.
Every kid.
Yes.
That's what my kids will go ask the assistants.
Yeah.
You have a good day today?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're not really concerned if you had a good day or not.
No.
Yeah.
All right, now,
Like we take it out on that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
now some of you guys may get this reference, and again, us older guys maybe will get this reference. We'll start with Coach Souter.
So he's saying I'm,
It wasn't really written that way. I was just kind of going there.
So I hope you get it.
yeah, I know.
So, Coach, are you a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, or other?
You know, I can honestly say I can listen to anything. I'm probably more country than I am rock and roll, but so country.
Country? Mm-hmm. But you said pretty much anything, right?
Pretty much anything.
So, could you break dance on command?
I can't break dance, but I could listen to it. I could, you know.
Okay.
I'm an 80s guy, so that's, you know, so that's good.
All right, okay. So, Ryan, are you a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, or other?
He does CrossFit now, so.
And I do have a farm.
But you do have a, there you go. That's true.
You know, I'm probably more so country.
Okay.
Yeah, country now. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
My little girl has to listen to Morgan Wallen. She says he's,
Oh,
No
yeah.
clue who that is. but
he's
that-
pretty good though.
Yeah, he is pretty good.
See, Coach
Oh,
Snowden.
there you go.
Yeah.
Country.
All right, Coach Davis, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, or other?
Well, you know, my daughter's trying to get me into rap.
Okay.
So I've been working on my rap skills. I'm getting good at it.
You want to freestyle right now? Anything?
Yeah, probably not right now.
Not right now?
You know, I've always been country, but I have broadened my horizons a little bit. Little rock. I like the Eagles. So it's a variety, but I would say mainly country. But I'm getting into rap. I'm trying to get more with the younger bunch.
All right. And again, if you don't know the reference, Google it. Donnie and Marie Osmond. How's that? We'll just leave it at that. So for the younger generation out there, I have no idea.
The younger.
All right. Final question. I promise we'll get you out on this. How's this? We'll see your creative juices here. And I'll start with Coach Davis, and we'll just work around. So when it all is said and done, and they make the movie about your life, it's a two-part question. What's the title of the movie, and who plays the lead role?
What's the title of the movie?
What's
That's
the
hard,
title of the
isn't
movie, and who plays the lead role?
That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
Well, you can go with the generic, you know,
What, Coach?
little Jeff Davis story or something like that.
That's hard.
That is a hard one.
Wow, stumping.
Now, I will tell you, and
Stumping the
everybody
panel here, folks.
if you've seen I know who played me.
Okay.
Have you seen the cartoon, The Minions?
Okay. That's that,
I've seen it.
what is it? Those little yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've seen the one guy that, like, everybody says I look
Earl?
like I don't know his name, I just
Is
said.
that the Steve Carell character?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So that's,
so I guess that he would have to play me since
wow.
everybody says that's right.
So your movie be animated then, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like the animated coach.
The animated
Oh my
coach.
gosh.
Oh my God. All right. Well, hey, I asked the questions. I'm getting the
You get the
answers, right? Well, Ryan, so
I thought it would be more of a serious answer, so I was trying to hit one here.
it could be serious
Okay.
too.
Oh, you're trying to think some big movie star, aren't you? Yeah.
So mine is coming from nothing, or however you would say it. Come from nothing.
Rags to riches or something.
Yeah, coming from nothing,
Okay.
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh my.
So-
All right.
Man, you took that serious.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
serious about that in my life. But
I really like Matthew McConaughey. There's only one thing I don't like about it, and I'll probably get some flack for saying
Because
this.
he's a Longhorn.
Exactly. He's a Longhorn. I'm sorry. So,
But
this-
you're just jealous that you do have Toby Keith.
Well, that's true, but I'm not really a country guy, but I'll live with it. Hey, but we have Jim Ross. How's that?
He's as country as Toby Keith.
He is, but I'm just going to announce him.
Okay. I got
There you go. A Boomer Sooner reference. I'll get flack for that, actually. So, all right, very good. Coach Souter, so what's your answer to this?
Probably who would play me is I've had some coaches in the past that, I don't know, I guess I had more hair or something. And I came in one day and he said I looked like Jimmy Neutron. So he would call me Jimmy Neutron all the time. He'd always send me little characters. So I'll go with that. And here's the name of my movie, Why Aren't We Playing?
Why are we playing?
I thought he was going to say rings.
No, no rings. No, not, yeah.
So the coaches go with animated at times.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's very good.
I can't think of any movie stars off the top of my head.
A different direction on your title.
No, it's just, if I had more time, I might have. I'm not quick-witted enough.
I mean, I've got a few, but
So you guys survived this, right? It didn't hurt that bad.
No.
okay, who will play you?
Who would play me? Oh gosh.
Roles reversed.
Let me think. The Steve Black story. The great announcer. I don't know. This is an obscure reference, but Toby Rowland, who was the play-by-play voice of the Oklahoma Sooners, maybe, but I don't know. Peter Griffin, maybe, the Family Guy or whatever. I guess, big guy or whatever. I don't know.
Goes back to the Sooners.
Just go back to the Sooners, right? Or Homer Simpson. So, yeah, you turn the tables on me there, but. All right, well, guys, any final thoughts before we end this particular episode? I hope we get a third one, right? As it kind of go along there, we kind of went off the rails a couple times, but I think that's the thing about this particular program. It doesn't have to be, totally always serious. It could be fun, and we get other groups of people in here, especially from the academic side, from the fine arts side, administrative side, things like that, and just have some fun with it. Share different things about what makes Cardinal Nation, tick. So, but Coach Souter, any final thoughts before we end this particular episode?
Yeah, I need to ask Ryan. No, this is easy. This is easy. LeBron or Michael?
Michael Jordan.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Coach comes in with a debate from last time.
That's right.
That's a debate that always goes.
I mean, that was quick, too.
That was quick. There was no hesitation, so.
None.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So, but our special guest, Ryan Owen, any final thoughts? Did you enjoy the show?
Hey, this is a good thing. Appreciate you doing this, taking your time to host this, and an idea that Coach Davis, Coach Souter had. So seeing it come into fruition, and Shane, we appreciate you and the Center for Innovation.
Yes.
It shows you what when a county starts working together, what you can accomplish. So,
Yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. And the bigger and better things with this venture, and just as you guys have always said, I think it's for the kids out there, it's for the community, and the way we support things at South Florida High School. So, because again, without the students, it's nothing, right? It does nothing. It's a done deal. So it's really just for them and to support them and what they do. Coach, any final thoughts?
Hey, if it makes somebody laugh and forget the problems, that's really what it's about. Giving out information, but having fun. In these times right now, everybody's stressing and got to do this and can't do this and everything. And if you laugh, it's been successful. I mean, if somebody got something out of it, it's been successful. But just hopefully somebody can, if it brightens one person's day or whatever, it's just give somebody an outlet a little bit and have some fun with it, and
And I think you make a good point with all the things that are going on. Again, really the seriousness of things, that are going on, and there's a lot of people, suffering in different ways and stuff. But you see people persevere, and it's good to have a good sense of humor as well. And again, just to promote things that are going on. It's tough for the kids as they're trying to do school. Some are in school, some are having to go virtual. Also with the athletics, that you guys have talked about, trying to do things for them and just make it as best for them and try to be as normal as possible. But as they say, we'll get through this together, right? All right. So before we end things, again, I want to thank our guest, Ryan Owen, athletic director at South Florida High School, for being on. And again, as always, Coach Souter and Coach Davis. We will, in subsequent episodes, actually get into some previews of your upcoming seasons. I know there's some big things going on both programs, and so it'll be nice to get that. But we'll do that in future episodes as well, as we'll have other guests on from all facets of South Florida High School. But again, thank you for listening to Cardinal Chat. We'll work on that title program as well and get to see who can be really creative out there, Les Dixon and others as well, right, Coach?
Les.
Hey, Les is a friend, and we'll have him on at some point as well. He does a lot of great things for the for the kids here in the 13th region, so we won't forget that as well. So again, for Coach Salmon, for Coach Davis, and Ryan Rowe, I'm Steve Black, and thanks for viewing it once again, our latest edition of Cardinal Chat.